G'day guys, welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. I'm home in my studio, a bloke in his room, talking Pittsburgh Steelers. Here we are, crazy fan. Yes, look, we're 0-1. I think though it's time to move on. It really is time to move on. The Steelers played a bad game. Kenny played a bad game. The talk of Matt Canada, the firing of himself or Mike Tomlin, I think it's a bit of an overreaction, but I understand the frustration that goes with that side. I really do understand that. I've been hearing it the last 3 or 4 or 5 years around that stuff. But I think it's way too early to say the season is done. I saw comments out there that the season's done, Steelers should tank, all that narrative just because we lost one game. But at some point, we have to move forward and move on and say, you know what? It's time to see our next opponent, that being the Cleveland Browns, at home, Monday Night Football, Steelers at Heinz Field, Acrisure Stadium. Kenny Pickett needs to bounce back. His whole team needs to bounce back. Now, of course, too, you have the injury front being Cameron Hayward. He's out for 8 weeks, so that sucks. He's the emotional leader, fires the team up, gets them ready. He's a true leader, the true Pittsburgh Steeler on the team. And also, he's a good player on the front of the D-line who's going to, take his spot. Do we see Armor Watt step up? Do we see DeMarvin Leal step up? Do we see, Keanu Benton, Montravius Adams? Who's going to be those 3 guys in rotation from the D-line? So I'm pretty keen to watch that. They have to go out there and stop Nick Chubb. If they can't stop Nick Chubb, then this game is going to turn into a lot like the 49ers game where CMC runs all over us and it's about 150 yards. So that's what I'm keen for there is how do you fill that void being Cameron Hayward, right? That to me is something we have to watch. But like I said, we're 0-1. Not the best start. Not the best start, but to be so overreactive and say the world's going to end, and also I'm doing a podcast with my mate Arsenal DB coming up in 2 days' time. I believe it'll be your Sunday 6 p.m. I'm aiming for, and we're going to talk about that scenario. If the Steelers do lose this game, is the world ending, right? But my kind of narrative that I kind of see, and from all the offseason, we always talk about the hype, the Omar Khan, the team being different, a new era, the Kenny Pickett era. Yes, it was a rocky start, and he can't throw those picks. He was off. His whole game was off. It looked nothing similar to the offseason that we saw him, 5 for 5 drives, TDs. Nothing was working. But it's not only on the coaches, in my opinion, that being Canada, Terrell Austin. By the way, Canada is like the shield, the protective shield that is for Austin. No one talks about how bad Austin's defense was, but he got carved up. The secondary got carved up. The only real bright spot was TJ Watt getting the 3 sacks, right? You didn't see much from Highsmith. You didn't see much from anyone else jump into that game. But the 49ers went crazy on us and won that game 30-7. So everyone's saying fire Matt Canada, but there should also be a lot of pressure on Terrell Austin too, and a lot of pressure as well on my mate, Mike Tomlin. You guys know how I feel Mike Tomlin. I like Mike Tomlin. I still think he can turn things around. And when I say to even turn things around, even saying bounce back, it's only one game. It's just one game. We're not eliminated from the playoffs yet. It's the very start of the season. We have to kind of wait and see for the next 4 or 5 games. It's just try and see their identity. Guys in the building like Ike Taylor are pretty keen to see what Matt Canada can do. I'm keen to see what he can do. And also, I think in this game, you have to run the football. You need to establish the run. And when I say that, don't give up. You can't be giving up. Okay, we ran the ball 8-9 times and that's it. It's over. I don't like that. I want to see the Steelers run the football, play action pass, and get Darnell involved. Also move into trying to find, get Connor Hayward involved too. I think he caught 2 passes last week, and I like the way he did things there. I just want to see the players, what does Mike Tomlin say? Routine plays routinely. And we haven't seen that from the start of the year. But I do feel like the Steelers can bounce back, but it's going to be very, very hard. Right. Also, guys, we have Deontay Johnson. He's out for the next 4 weeks. Who's going to step up? I did see some reports out there saying that Hunter Renfrow was going to be signed. I don't believe that. I feel like they're going to go with CA3. I feel like they're going to use Gunnar Olszewski. They moved Des Fitzpatrick, number 82, from the practice squad to the active squad. Will he make it a game day? Not too sure. I feel like you're going to see maybe more of Calvin Austin, and you're going to see more of Miles Boykin if he plays on the team. And you might even see a link up between Kenny Pickett and Olszewski if he gets a starting role on game day too. He knows how to play the game. He knows the offense. and I think he can be a good key guy to get a few passes to or a few blocks here and there. The guy might be, a bit smaller, but he's pretty physical and he can play. And he's not doing super crazy, flashy stuff, but he can play. And in this kind of like AFC North matchup, you kind of need that physical play from him and guys like that. So I think he might play in this game. And you'll probably see Calvin Austin have a bigger role going into his second game in his second year. But AFC North football guys, you don't have to win this game, but it does feel like you need some sense of, if you don't win this, I think the whole Steeler Nation is going to explode. Oh my goodness, the season's done. It won't be done, but it sure will hurt. It sure will suck starting out 0-2. But it would be nice to see, if the Steelers don't win and they lose 2017, it'll be nice to see them just be competitive. I think that's out of all the things we see, if they lose, fine, it sucks. But when your team doesn't show up and they're not competitive like they were last week, where it felt like they just got ran over completely in all phases of the game, going into the halftime, they're 1 yard. When they're not competitive, that hurts the most. I think for Steeler Nation is like, well, why do we pay all this money for the tickets? Why do we pay money for the jerseys? We buy all the food at the stadiums, and yet you don't turn up. We show up to support you guys, and you guys don't turn up to play the game. But at the same time, the 49ers outsmarted them, was more physical, and all that kind of stuff. But now we have the Browns coming in. Monday Night Football, I'll be streaming that game live from my Tuesday. I can't wait, man. I'm keen to see this team, shake back into reality, wake up, and use that stuff as motivation, as fuel to the fire to go out there and do something. Run the Canada offense that is being, if it's a jet sweep, execute on plays. If it's running the football, execute on running the football with the O-line pushing up front. And we talked about all off season when James Daniels getting better, Isaac Seumalo. I believe these guys can do it. They just need to start fresh and forget about last week, learn from it, but forget about last week, move on, start fresh. And I'm keen to see them run the football. Run Najee 20, 25 times. Run Jaylen Warren 10 times. Play action pass with Kenny Pickett. I think we'll see a better game from this team than last week. Last week, they just got into a bad hole. They tried to throw themselves out of it with 46 passes by Kenny Pickett. It didn't work. Interceptions, bad footing. Look, everyone had bad footing. That's not an excuse. Both sides had bad footing. But overall, we just got to see some better production on the field and execution as well. Anyways, guys, that's a bit of a catch-up. I did a live today. It was fantastic. So shout out to everyone who was in the live today. So much fun. I've been away to Queensland, and I'm back to reality now. Back in my home office, back with a bloke just talking Steelers in his room. And I'm super excited for this season. I'm not giving up. I know a lot of fans out there, maybe like 5%, 10%. Some are frustrated, but there are some really outlandish takes that people are just like giving up. They're like, the season's over. I don't wait 7, 8 months, 9 months for the season and talk about it all off season to try and call it that the season's over. You will not get that from this channel. You will get an honest take. You'll probably get a lot of takes too that are biased, that are black and gold goggles, but I don't care. We're here to cheer and support our team. And I believe the Steelers can do that they can go and win this game. You know what? I'll give it now. I believe that we can win this game. What did I say the other day? 24-23. I think 24-23. The Browns are going down the field to kick a field goal, and they miss. And I think we win the game 24-23 on Monday night. It's going to be a thriller, and another Steelers special where we all, go, oh my goodness, we're so excited and crazed up, and can we win? Won't we win? And what's going to happen? They're going to toy and play with our emotions. That's what Steelers do right now. It's just the reality of the fact. They put us through all the emotions, but I think the Steelers can win this game, go 1-1, and then we travel out to the West Coast, going west, and we go to Vegas for the Vegas, and it's Kenny Pickett versus Jimmy G. But you have to have. I think the Steelers need to wake up, and they just need to calm the crowd a little bit, quiet the noise. And I just want to see them show up. We didn't see them show up last week, but I think it's going to be different versus the Browns. Browns are a tough team, but I feel like it's going to be a different scenario where the Steelers could actually do something, run the rock, be physical. Everything we talked about in the offseason, I feel like they can do this into week 2. And look, it's only week 2. Let me end on this. It's only week 2. It's week 2, and I feel like a majority of the Steeler Nation, maybe like 5-10%, maybe minority of Steeler Nation 20% has given up completely. I'm not here to give up. I'm here to cheer my team on. We still have, 16 games left to go. We have one AFC North game coming up. If you win this game, you're in the standings for the AFC North. You're 1-0. And in the non-conference stuff with the NFC, you've lost that, which doesn't matter too much, only with like the overall record. But we're here to win the North. We're here to have a chance to go to the playoffs. But this team needs to get better. Anyways, guys, enjoy your weekend. I'll see you over the week with more lives, more videos, more content as we ramp up into Monday Night Football, Steelers versus Browns. And the Browns haven't won in Heinz Field, I think, since the playoff game. Twice. It was in 2020 when they played on that random Monday. In 2020 was the playoff game. That's the only game they've won in Heinz Field. So they're going to come with a bit of fire. But I feel like the Steelers can smack them back into reality. I'll see you later.